What's up, guys? I hope that you are enjoying the vertical jump program so far, and the goal of this video is to dive into the second half of this program, which is what I call your Playmaker behavior design system. And what this is, and what this is going to go into over the next 12 weeks is we're going to dive into your daily habits, daily choices, help you improve those daily habits and choices, and in doing that, it's going to help with everything. It's going to help with your jump, it's going to help with your speed, it's going to help with your game, it's going to help with all aspects of your life. And the reason for that is 95% of everything that we think, feel, do, and achieve is in our daily habits. Okay, Sky, you're a sports scientist. Why are you qualified to teach this? I don't have a PhD in habits or anything like that. This is through real world experience. Okay, so my story is pretty unique. 18 years old, I was living with a couple of my partners, just barely graduated high school, found a way, thank you Lord. And we were partying every night, and police came to our house. And came to our house, one of my partners' roommate started talking mess to the cops. Cop was like, well, if you guys aren't doing anything, why don't you let us search the house? My partner, Steven, wish you would have consulted me first. It's all good. He didn't have anything in his room, so he said, yeah, go ahead, search it. They go into my room, get these little smiles on their faces. They found a ½ ounce of marijuana, okay, in a single bag. So I think it's pretty funny now because, where are we now? 18 years later, because with the pandemic and the quarantine, most everything has been closed, but the weed store has still been open, at least in California. But back then, the police that came into our house searched my room, not with my consent. They got my drunk partners. I guess that was enough to go into my room. But so they cuffed me up, and for you guys watching this globally, to give you kind of a idea of how the American justice system works, is they put me in a jail cell. I was in a jail cell for a couple weeks, and they said, here we go. Here are your two options. Option A is we're going to throw the book at you, and we're going to try and get you 15 years for marijuana distribution. And their whole case behind that was because we had traffic coming in and out of the house a lot. Okay. Or option B was just take this felony. Take this felony, possession with intent or something like that. So I didn't want to go out for 15 years. It wasn't work. 18, 19. I didn't think spending my next 15 years in prison was really how I want to spend my 20s and my early 30s. Okay, so I took the F. And in doing that, again, for you guys who are watching this globally, you don't know how kind of the American social constructs are set up, is if you have a felony on your record, then your options are very little in terms of employment, okay? Either you are going to work a minimum wage job, or you're going to say, F that, I don't want to work a minimum wage job, and you're going to start hustling and doing something illegal. And if you get caught with that because you already got that F, then you guaranteed going to prison for a while. Or I was fortunate enough to have enough positive mentors around me to take route C, which was figure out how I can climb out of this hole and take care of myself and support myself and work on my own. Okay, so I've been working on my own for myself, CEO, entrepreneur, since I was 18, and it's only through, I would say, two things. I would say personal development, and which I put habits under the personal development section, and being able to sell, right? If you're able to sell, then the customer doesn't care that you have F on them. You're just giving them what they want. are the two things that are able to get me where I'm able to be here today and, you know, not work minimum wage somewhere, you know, living a life where I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I got a long way to go and I want to be relentless about getting there. But considering from where I came from and that situation, I'm proud of myself. I made it, okay? I made it at least to this plateau and I got mountaintops to go after. Okay, so the story and the reason I'm saying that and bringing it back to this is the only reason that I was able to work for myself 18, 19, 20, 21 to where I am now, to be able to be, you know, financially on my own footing is because of habits, okay? 95% of everything we think, say, feel, do, and achieve is through our daily habits, through our daily choices, okay? So I call the people in people, the customers, my players, you know, my loved ones. My circle is very small, so I got my customers and I got my family and I got my friends, terminators, okay? Why do I call it terminators? Because I want us together to find the habits that work best for you and for you to be a machine in running them. And I've gotten criticism in the past saying, hey, well that's going to take away all my creativity, then that's just not who I am. Well, here's the thing. 95% of everything that we think, see, feel, and do and achieve is because of our habits. So we're all machines, okay? We're all machines anyway. So either you're just a machine that's running off the programming and stories and BS that other people are throwing at you, or you're a machine that you're programming yourself. And I highly recommend that you do the second one, because then you're able to take control. You're able to take control of what you're doing. You're able to take control of where you want to go, who you want to be, and this stuff works, okay? There's a reason that the world's best, we'll put this in the sports context, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, right? Players like that, James Harden, Chris Paul, whoever else you want to put on there, the reason they are there, you know, is because of their day-to-day habits, okay? LeBron's 37 by now. James Harden's 32, okay? Chris Paul's what, 35, 36? These guys are not Hall of Famers because of some innate genetic gift, okay? That might get you drafted, but not now. They're there because their day-to-day habits, their day-to-day choices, okay? So if you just want a vertical jump program, then there are other programs out there, okay? This program works, and I challenge you to do this other piece, because this other piece is going to revolutionize and change everything for you. I know from personal experience, and understand that now is the time. Now is the time to adapt, okay? While everyone else is just not knowing what to do with all this white noise and distraction, and when is everyone going to get back set up with games and practice and OTAs and all this stuff. There's all this white noise on these super complicated issues, okay? Racism, institutional racism in this country is a super complicated issue, okay? The pandemic and how to fight that and how to approach that is a super complicated issue. All these things are super complicated issues. Yet 99.9% of people spend their time getting distracted talking about these things when they're not experts in them. It's just white noise. And if you're, you have an opportunity because you don't need to fall into that. You can use this time to dial in your system, your habits, your machine, and when this fun time passes, which it will, because all things pass, then you're going to be at a completely another level. And that fires me up. Like, that super inspires me just saying that, and I can help you do that, okay? So this is how we're gonna do this. For all you guys that sign up for this 12-week program, 12-week vert program, I'm gonna send you a copy of the compound effect, okay? So one of the things that I had to learn, 18 years old, felony on my record, broke, no skills, is I needed to be very careful about where I got my information from, okay? Because you Google anything and you have a million different hits. And again, on complicated issues like daily habits, like the choices that you make in your personal development, 99.9% of people aren't experts on that. So who are the experts, okay? And Darren Hardy, I would consider an expert, okay? He is someone who is the founder of Success Magazine, okay? So Success Magazine is a brand, it's a company that interviews the most successful people and looks at their daily habits and how they were able to get successful from their habits, okay? So this guy has spent the last 25 years of his life looking at what makes the most successful people successful in their daily habits, and then he distills it into a super easy, super simple book that has action steps that we can take to improve our habits, to improve our design system, okay? The reason we call this the Playmaker Project, the reason I call my brand, my company, the Playmaker Project, is because when you think of a playmaker, what do you think of? I think of someone who makes something happen no matter the situation, okay? No matter what the score is, no matter what the weather is, no matter whether they're home or away, no matter whether they're on quarantine, no matter whether or not, whatever, go down the line. But a playmaker finds a way to make their situation into an opportunity, into a win for them, okay? And by executing this behavior design system, creating one for yourself, like this isn't about me telling you what amazing habits you need to install in your life. This is about you taking control and you figuring out for yourself, right? That's, as a sports scientist, that's what I do professionally, right? It's about evaluating players, figuring out what the key performance indicators are, and then experimenting and finding how do we improve those, okay? And we're gonna go into that with you so you can do that with your game, your life, okay? So, chapter 1, he has 4 action steps. And how we're gonna go through, we're just gonna go through this chapter by chapter, okay? I have a friend who is an acquaintance with Mr. Hardy, so I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but hopefully we'll be able to have him come on and share about the value of this in terms of moving forward. Okay, we'll go straight to the source. All right. Number 1. So these are the action steps that I want you to take from this video. Okay. Write out a few excuses you might be clinging to. Okay. So he gives examples: not smart enough, in basketball, not tall enough, not genetically, don't have enough fast twitch muscle fibers, get the fuck out of here, wrong upbringing, don't have the education, etc. Decide. Okay, so write out 3 excuses. Okay, so write out 3 excuses there, and then make the decision today to make it up in hard work and personal development to outcompete anyone, including your old self. Okay, and he says something super valuable there: hard work and personal development. Okay, most everyone works hard. Okay, I have something that I developed over the years called the Player Performance Square, which looks at evolutionary psychology on the 4 factors that really determine success, and hard work is just one of the factors. Okay, so he says hard work and personal development. Okay, and again, with the situation that's going on in the world now is the time. Now is the time for you to invest in yourself, in the time to develop yourself, okay? And it works. It works. So that's step one. So write out 3 excuses. So for me, it could have been, felony, right? That's either one, okay? I can't I can't live and be financially free. I can't be able to do what I want with my life. I can't do these things because I have a felony on my record, okay? Well, through hard work and personal development, and I made the decision, that's not true anymore, okay? So we all have different stories, different BS that's passed on to us, and we need to let those excuses go. So I want to put a worksheet below, and I challenge you to take the time to, what are 3 excuses? What are 3 excuses that are holding you back in terms of, your game, your athletic ability, your life, whatever your specific goals are, write those down and make a decision that through hard work and personal development, you're going to erase those stories. Okay? Because it's just BS. It's just social constructs passed around from, other people's BS. Okay? Number 2, write out the half dozen seemingly inconsequential steps you can take every day that can take your life in a completely new and positive direction. Okay? So one of the things he talks about here, and one of the things we're going to talk about in the program, is how doing little things consistently every day adds up to massive benefits. And this resonates very much with me from a sports science perspective, because there's something called marginal gains. Okay? And marginal gains comes from the United Kingdom, so that's England, Wales, I think Scotland, and how they went from being ranked 38th, I think like 96, or it was 96 or 92, but they were 38th in the world in Olympic medals, which is pretty low. And then by 2012, they were 2nd in the world. And that's crazy when you think about how serious most countries take their Olympic athletes. And the reason they were able to make that jump from 38th to 2nd was their sports science department invested all in on this idea of marginal gains, which is finding as many different ways we can improve this player, his environment, his bed sheets, his water intake, everything. Let's just work on improving all of them just a little bit, and if we do that, big things are going to happen. And now they're an Olympic power from 38th. Okay, so your action step, we're going to put this on the worksheet, is to write out the 6 small steps you can do you can take every day. And I have some ideas in terms of your player development, through your lifestyle like nutrition, sleep, through your athlete performance training, and we'll get to that. But I want you to do this first, just for you, because you know yourself better than anybody. You can say right now, what are 6 things that you can do 6 small things that you can do to improve your daily habits to help get whatever your specific goals are. And this never ends, right? I can answer this question right now for myself, which I will do. Okay, the third piece is write down the small, seemingly inconsequential actions you can stop doing that might be compounding your results. Okay? The small, inconsequential, so things that you think might be small in terms of small habits that are impacting your skill development and your personal development and your goals. So a couple examples for me, when I work with my player development coach on the basketball court, if I do my full warm-up, which takes about 30 minutes, if I do that before the training session, my training session is exponentially better. okay? If compared to 15, 20 minutes, or even sometimes in the past, I've shown up 5 minutes before, it's exponentially. So that, you might not think, I didn't think that was that big of a deal, but it changed everything for me. It's a small thing to turn big. Another one for me is eating earlier in the day, or stopping eating, okay? So in terms of how well I sleep and my heart rate variability, and I'm a sports scientist, so I track all that stuff. If I stop eating earlier in the day, it does crazy benefits for my HRV, okay? So these are just a couple, I'm giving you a couple specific examples for me. These things you might think be small. Well, I'm eating 2 hours earlier compared to, 2 hours before bed rather than 30 minutes before bed, but they're huge things. I mean, that's a huge impact on how my next day is gonna be, my recovery, all that stuff, okay? List a few areas, skills, or outcomes where you have been successful in the past. Consider whether you can be taking those for granted and are not continuing to improve, and are therefore in jeopardy of having that complacency lead to future failure. Okay, so this is a huge one because we don't celebrate enough. We don't celebrate small wins enough. You want to be telling yourself, I want to be telling myself all day, every day, after you do something right, after you do, even however small that habit is, that's like me. That's like me. That's like me. That's like me. Celebrate that. Celebrate that. Because you're wiring your nervous system, you're wiring your brain, you're wiring your machine, you're wiring your Terminator to be like, oh, if I do this good habit, then I'm going to celebrate that. I want to get that dopamine kick and all that good stuff, So celebrate, 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 celebrate. So we'll put these all in the worksheet, and you have a big opportunity, man. You have a big opportunity. I could very easily have created a platform where we just did jump training, and we just did speed training, and we just did mobility work and nutrition, and then what? Okay? Then what? So you're able to jump 3 inches higher. A lot of you guys are basketball players like me. Then what? Okay. Now you're able to dunk, what, once every couple games? Then what? Right? Then what do we do? Well, if you dial in your habits, then everything changes. You change the way you practice, which accelerates your skill development. You change the way you approach defense. You change the way you approach being a leader on your team and teamwork. You change the way you approach passing. You change the way you approach sleep. You change the way that you approach absolutely everything, and then that's where your sports performance goes through the roof. Okay? So we're going to get into the compound effect more. Check out the training sheet below. I challenge you to take a few minutes to answer the questions, and then really, try and do it. You can do it. I believe in your greatness, and I'll see you guys at the next training video.